Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From the Trinity River Bottoms, it's the Game of the Week on ICTN. Today we got the championship matchup of the 12 and unders boys and the Irving Boys Baseball Association as the Cowboys take on the Aggies. And hi again, everyone. I'm Lance Brown, Bob Berry alongside. So glad to have you along for this game as the Aggies come into this ball game needing only one victory to claim the championship of the 12 and under. However, for the Cowboys, well, they got to win them all. Let's see how they did this year. The Aggies finished with a record of 9-2, just a half game better than the Mudcats. Then came the Longhorns, the Cowboys at 4-8, but obviously they've done well in the playoffs, and the Rangers had their troubles this year. The Aggies have kind of cruised through the playoffs this year. As you can see, the Aggies and the Cowboys reaching that as the Cowboys defeated the Rangers, then the Longhorns and the Mudcats to reach this point. And the Aggies getting their way through this whole thing here as they defeated the Mudcats to reach this championship match. They have the one loss, do the Cowboys, so they cannot afford to lose another game or it's all over. Now, at this point of the season, though, you run into a problem where some of these pitchers have pitched too many innings, and so they're not going to be able to pitch the normal pitchers that they have during the season. So they're going to have to go with guys who haven't pitched as much or as good as they normally are, as you normally hope. But you got to go with what you got, and everybody's got the same situation. Here's the Cowboys as they will come up to the plate here in the top half of the first inning. It'll be Christian Rodriguez, Jaden Flores, Zach Oliver, Seth Martinez, Hugo Campos, Mike Moya, Anthony Morales, Jeff McCusick, and Eli Vasquez. And stepping into the plate is Rodriguez, and here with the play-by-play, Bob Berry.
Thank you, Lance, and good evening, everyone. Christian Rodriguez leading off. Oscar Escobedo on the mound. His first pitch, a little bit high, ball one. Rodriguez does not give you much of a target. The 1-0 pitch, way up high, 2-0. These youngsters, as Lance told you, 12 years of age and under. Pitching from the stretch. Finds the strike zone, 2-1.
Josh Howell, his battery mate behind plate. But I find this smart with young pitchers, just to start them off from the stretch. You know, it's hard enough to throw strikes from two positions like that, so this teach them one motion rather than the windup.
3-1 the count on Rodriguez. And he takes ball four. So Rodriguez leads off just the way you want a leadoff man to do, by getting on base. Drawing the pass, and Jaden Flores will be coming up. Well, this has been a change in thinking of baseball as far as pitching is concerned, whether you go in the full windup or the stretch or do a little bit of both. There used to be the thinking, and this is years ago, that you got more on the ball if you went into the full windup. You could really put your whole body behind it. But that philosophy has kind of faded over the years. There goes Rodriguez stealing second base. And the pitch to the batter outside, ball one.
Well, relief pitchers really started it in the majors, figuring they were going to pitch from the stretch most of the time anyway.
2-0 the count.
I don't know who was the first, but I remember Bruce Sutter doing it back in the 70s.
That pitch up high. So Escobedo really having control problems here. He's tossed 8 pitches, only one of them for a strike.
Yeah, it's ball quattro there.
Back-to-back walks.
Again, in many cases here, Bob, you're dealing with the third, maybe the fourth pitcher, and now the coach, Larry Brewer, is coming out to talk to him. Now, I'm being told he hasn't pitched this week, so he should be fresh. Okay, so I didn't know the total situation here.
Coach coming out, trying to settle his pitcher down.
Stiff wind blowing out towards the left field foul pole. It's 200 down each line. It's 250 to dead center. And this is Zach Oliver.
So Escobedo facing his third batter. Oliver takes pitch in for a strike. 0-1. Zach Oliver is his team's third baseman. It's a hot shot. First baseman will make the play unassisted, and both runners advance. So just as good as a sacrifice, it moves the runners over. The only difference being, as you watch the replay, because he swung away, he's charged with an official at bat. But he got the job done.
There you go. Ennis going over there to make the nice play. Good job by Terrell.
Martinez, first ball swinging, fouls it away, strike one.
Ennis is the first baseman. The second baseman is Art Martinez, the shortstop Ricky Flores, and the third baseman Oscar Flores. We'll check the rest of the outfield for you in just a moment.
Pitch gets away from the catcher, but the backstop is so close to home plate. Kind of tough to advance on something like that. You really don't want to take a chance. 1-1 the count. Game coming your way on June the 19th. That one is tapped foul down the third baseline. 1-2 the count.
Jose Escobedo in left field, the center fielder Chris Salinas, and your right fielder is Darian Degnight. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why you take the lead from third base in foul territory always.
The 1-2 pitch. Nice stop by the catcher. Boy, that one really got away. Josh Howell had to climb the stairs to snare that one. 2-2 the count to the batter. One out, runners at second and third. We are scoreless thus far.
Wow, those one close.
Yeah, well, the count's 3-2. So Martinez is going to have to come back here.
I guess he thought because it was so wild it should have counted as two.
For two, yeah. Either that or he figured this guy's so wild, I don't want him to hurt me. I'm going down to first base right now.
I don't blame him on that one either.
Yeah.
Been there myself.
So we have a full count on Seth Martinez. Escobedo, again pitching from the stretch, struck him out.
Boy, I like it, though. The kid goes up there trying to take a whiff at it. There's two out.
Hugo Campos, the first baseman, now up here. Escobedo's first pitch in for a strike.
Kid's got a pretty live arm, though.
Uh-huh. And the 0-1 pitch. Fouled away, 0-2.
Hugo had a good rip at that. Now behind in the count, though, got to protect the plate. Wind has died down a little bit. It was stronger when the game started.
The 0-2 pitch on the way. Little let-up popped up to the second baseman, makes the grab, and the side is retired. So Escobedo walks the first two batters in the inning, but knuckles down, retires the next three. No one scores. And at the end of a half inning of play, the Cowboys are scoreless. The Aggies coming up.
And maybe a good time now to show you our first trivia question of the night as we try to amaze you as we get ready for this ball game. Our first trivia question of the night is, in this decade, that beginning in the year 2010, who has hit the most home runs total? As we are now in our 5th year of the decade. So think about that, and we'll give you the answer at the next half inning. Who has the most home runs in this decade? Let's take a look at the batting order right now for the Aggies as they come up. They'll lead off with Oscar Escobedo, then come the Flores. All three of them, Salinas, Ennis, Jose Escobedo, Aguilla, Art Martinez, Degnaid, Arista. Then we have Michael Gutierrez and Sky Jackson. Everybody hits here. One of the advantages and disadvantages of this game is that everybody hits. Now, the disadvantages is your best players don't get to bat as much as they normally would. Yeah,
exactly.
So there's good and bad. But if you're a kid, you want to play.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. Everyone
Right.
wants to play,
Well, especially bat. If you don't want to bat, you got no business playing the game. Well, as my son told me, I don't mind batting, but I don't like getting hit with a ball. Yeah, that's part of it, boy.
Yes, it is. Anthony Morales will be the starting pitcher for the Cowboys. Anthony, as we watch him warm up, also pitching from the stretch.
Speaking of getting hit with the ball, our friend Mike Reiner of the Hardline, he on his daily Facebook page, he puts down birthdays of players who have played for the Rangers and a lot of history about it. Loves to write about that stuff, Mike does. And he was talking about Dickie Thon, who was a budding star until he was beaned by a pitch when he was with the Astros. He was,
Exactly, yeah.
and he's just never the same player afterwards, as one could well understand. Had a nice long career afterwards, but never what he was before then. And a number of players, I guess, fit that mode, but they had great starts, but didn't finish up good. So here's Oscar Escobedo, and here again, Bob Berry.
Well, Oscar, the starting pitcher, is also the leadoff batter. That tells you this kid's got some athletic ability. Right-handed batter facing Morales. Watches that first pitch way outside, ball one. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Make it 2-0. One of the things that I think is probably difficult for these youngsters playing in the field is to concentrate on the game, especially if a pitcher starts getting wild. It's easy to let your mind drift and float around about other things.
And that's not just a problem at this age either, Bob. I mean, the players at any level, you got to be more on your toes if your pitcher's throwing strikes because you know they're going to be swinging and it could be hit to you.
Pitch in for a strike.
Whereas if they're wild and constantly throwing balls, as you mentioned, sometimes they get, they start thinking about other things. It happens.
Ball four. So Escobedo draws the walk. I was very lucky as a youngster. When I played in high school, I just had a coach who was a technician of the game. And one of the things he taught us is when you're out there in the field, you're thinking about one thing and one thing only. What am I going to do when the ball is hit to me?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Absolutely. You got to know the count. You got to know who's on base and how well they can or can't run. And
exactly. Yeah. So it really kept you in the game, There goes the runner to second base. We'll steal it without drawing a throw. And another thing he taught us, he would probably have a heart attack watching some of the major league players today. I'm thinking one, certainly a Ducey, who's a marginal player who broke his pinky sliding in, stealing a base. Pitch taken for a strike. Escobedo down at third base, stealing it. Our coach always had us, when we're on base, grab handfuls of dirt. So if you slid in head first, you slid in with a fist, not with extended fingers.
Right.
You are not going to break a finger. Now today, when you watch the major leaguers, a lot of them will carry batting gloves in their hands. And that, again,
Accomplishes the same purpose.
Exactly, right. You're holding on to something so you don't extend those fingers. It just seems so elementary that when you watch players at the major league level do that, you're thinking to yourself, what are they thinking? But we're all human. We're all tend to make mistakes and what have you. The pitch to the batter, fouled away.
Oh.
Oscar Flores, the third baseman, up there.
Oscar getting what Joe Garagiola used to call a bunion burner.
1-2 the count on Flores. Escobedo down at third base, hoping to become the first run in the game. Pitch swung and a missed. Catcher throws down to first.
Pulled him off the bag and should have held on to the ball because the runner at third was going to easily score.
Well, you see what happens. It's a wild pitch. And the catchers throw down to first base, pull the first baseman off the bag. And when he threw that ball, Escobedo just very alertly comes in and scores, and it's a 1-0 ball game. So it's recorded as a strikeout and then an E by the catcher. Pitch in for a strike. Kind of tough for the pitcher. He got the batter to swing and miss, but doesn't really have anything to show for it.
Ricky Flores up right now.
Flores is the shortstop, takes the pitch inside for a ball. So the Aggies draw first blood. They lead it 1-0. Long drive, left field, hooking, foul. I said the runner was safe down at first base, but obviously I'm wrong because there's no one down at first base. So take away the error I gave to the catcher, credit a strikeout to the pitcher, and credit the catcher with an assist and the first baseman with the putout.
Yeah, and credit Hugo Campos with a nice play down at first. Being able to keep I thought he pulled his foot off the bag. Didn't. Good job, Hugo.
Pitch way outside for a ball.
Those are one of those darned if you do and darned if you don't things, Bob. Are you better as a catcher to try to throw him out at first or try to hold the runner at third?
Pitch swung on a foul back. This kid really takes a swing. I like to see that in batters.
So watch the play here at first base.
The pitch drilled into left field, base hit. Well, Ricky Flores, not a shy batter. He's up there taking his cuts. And he gets the game's very first base hit. So he's at first base, and you can anticipate he'll probably be off with either the first or second pitch. The batter is the catcher, Josh Howell. Threw to first base, and Flores is back easily. Morales very aware of the runner at first base, trying to keep him close. There goes the runner. Howell fouls it back to the screen.
He has a big leg kick, too, so that gives the runner an extra 2 or 3 strides anyway.
I love the pants that Howell is wearing. He's got them rolled up almost to his knees. Again, the throw to first base gets away. And down to second base on the overthrow goes the base runner.
So that'll be an E1.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, it looks like the pants were washed a little in very cold water and they shrunk on them, huh? Where they're rolled up like that.
Yeah. There goes the base runner to third. Ball gets away from the catcher, but you credit Flores with the stolen base simply because he was off with the pitch.
One out, one in, a runner at third.
Throw to third base and the runner back.
That's fine, but you just hope that he's not concentrating too much on the runner and not on the hitter.
Exactly.
It's good luck. Looks like he really knows what to do with the bat.
Well, he's batting fourth. Here's the little pop fly. Is going to fall. Pitcher makes the throw to first in time. And in to score is Flores. So credit Howell with an RBI.
But credit to the Morales with a very nice play. He had to get rid of that ball very quick on that tap because Howell could get down that line, and he made a nice play.
Chris Salinas, the center fielder, comes up. Base is now empty. Goes after a low pitch, and boy, the umpire really got one here.
Yeah, he got one between north and south, I'm afraid. Home plate umpire Jeremy Erke. Third base umpire Eddie Erke comes over along with Shannon Buffington and Tony Huckabee. Well, Tony's staying down at first base, but I think he's going to be singing in a higher voice this weekend.
You know, we never pay tribute very often to the umpires who come out and do these games. These guys love the game, I'll tell you that. You know, yeah.
I was talking with an umpire one time and just kind of joking with him out in the field as we were getting ready and to come in and do this. And I said, well, you're here, you know, you're making all this money. He says, you know, I don't do it for the money, but I wouldn't do it for nothing.
Right. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
I mean,
talking about money as we wait for Erke to kind of recuperate a little bit, I think the toughest sell on baseball right now is what the Texas Rangers are doing.
yeah.
They're charging you major league prices to watch minor leaguers play.
Well, several, yeah.
At least 8 of the players.
Should be in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
You expected to be in the minor leagues.
Exactly, yeah. That's about a third of the team.
But it's been a tough year for the Rangers, no question.
Sure.
Yeah.
That pitch down low gets away from the catcher.
That they're playing 500 baseball right now is actually a tribute to a good job by Washington and Maddox, in my opinion.
Down low again.
First baseman Snyder is 32 years old, and this is the first time he's played in the major leagues in his life, and he hadn't.
No, he played for the Cubs.
Yeah, briefly.
Yeah, yeah,
but he never. But he hadn't played first base.
No, not at all. No. Yeah.
Odor, 20-year-old rookie. By the way, he's doing pretty darn good.
Hit right back to the pitcher. Throws to first. Side is retired. But a productive inning for the Aggies as they scored twice. And after one inning of play, the Aggies lead the Cowboys 2-0.
All right, we asked the question, and we're going to give you the answer because that's the kind of people we are.
Uh-huh.
So here is our question. Once again, who has the most home runs in this decade, starting in the year 2010? Bob, you care to guess?
I hadn't even thought about it, but I'm just going to guess Pujols.
No, in fact, he's number 3.
3.
It's Miguel Cabrera, and just barely over Jose Bautista by 1. And this was as of the start of the week. So
Bautista had that great year.
Right.
He had that one super season, yeah.
Right. And Cabrera just had one super season after
another, yeah.
Now, Albert's number 3 on the list. Of course, he missed most of last year, too. So.
Right.
So we'll ask you other questions involving this decade.
Well, I'll give you a trivia question. I came across this the other day. I think this is really bizarre. Fidel Castro.
Right.
And the rookie pitcher for the Texas Rangers, Nick Martinez.
Right.
Have got something in common. It has to do with education. Now, here's the bizarre part. They both went to the same high school.
Oh, okay.
How's that for bizarre? Fidel Castro graduated in 1944.
Right.
When he came to power, the people who owned the high school closed it down, moved to Miami. So Martinez went to the high school in Miami.
Okay.
A lot of the instructors were the same. Certainly the name of the school was the same. The one thing that changed, the location.
Huh. Okay.
Martinez was an infielder, won a scholarship to Fordham University in the Bronx, New York. They converted him to a pitcher. The Rangers drafted him, and now he's up in the big time.
And there's
But
the
that
Irving
is-
Cowboys. Mike Moya leading things off.
Moya, the left fielder. That pitch inside for a ball.
It's Moya, Morales, and Makuzek. Here in the top of the second, excuse me. Fidel Castro was a pretty darn good baseball player in his day.
Yep.
Pitcher, as I remember.
2-0 the count.
If only he had a better curveball, Bob. What difference in history would that be?
Sure, really. Yeah, you never know. The 2-0 pitch. Down low, ball 3.
If only Hitler had been a better artist.
Escobedo started off this game by walking the first 2 men in the first inning. Then he pitched out of the jam. Now he's down 3-0 to the leadoff man here in the top of the second. Got that one down the pipe, strike 1. 3-1.
Kid's got a live arm, Bob.
Strike 2.
He hits that glove, and that dust just piles right out of there.
And you can hear it pop.
Yeah.
Well, Moya caught looking.
Moya just looked back at Erky and, well, that's what it was.
So the first 3 pitches balls, the next 3 strikes, and the batter is Anthony Morales. He is the starting pitcher. You notice he pitches right-handed, but bats left-handed. Takes that first pitch low and away, ball 1. That's behind him, and it's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch on the way, and in the strike zone, 2-1. Aggies and the Cowboys. The Aggies having drawn first blood in the bottom of the first inning, scoring twice. They lead it 2-0. 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Took a little bit off the fastball that time, and it's a 2-2 count. And the 2-2 pitch. Either that slipped out of his hand or, again, he was trying to throw a little let-up pitch there. Whatever it was not in the strike zone. So we have a full count. 3-2. Got him looking. Back-to-back call third strikes here in the second inning. That's strikeout number 3 for Escobedo. Jeffrey McCusick is the batter.
Now Escobedo settled down, retired 5 in a row now.
That's in for a strike.
And he's tossing strikes.
Strike 2. Oh, and 2 the count on Jeffrey McCusick, who is the center fielder. The 0-2 pitch. Up high for a ball. 1-2. There's that let up, 2-2. Three on two. So he had 2 quick strikes on McCusick, but has missed with the last 3.
Well, sometimes they get a little bit too cute out there.
That's fouled off. McCusick
had a good rip at that
Yes,
one.
he did. The full count pitch. Got him looking. So he strikes out the side, and each and every occasion of these batters, they're caught looking. 3 up, 3 down for the Cowboys. They go scoreless to the top of the second. We move to the bottom of the second. The Aggies lead it by a count of 2-0.
And time now, I think, to throw up our first fan facts of the night. Easy for me to say, right? San Francisco's Bruce Bochy, the manager, is the leading manager right now among active managers with victories. Did you know that?
No.
But it makes sense.
Uh-huh. But the Giants have had a very successful run.
In these last 5 years, you bet.
Yeah.
Not so much last year, but they're doing very well this year.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Mostly due to a good starting pitching and a great relief staff.
Yep. I don't know what they did last night. I know they had lost 5 in a row, not counting what happened last night.
And last night, a no-no thrown by the Dodger outstanding left-hander Clayton Kershaw, who played at Highland Park here in DFW area. Man, what a marvelous pitcher he is. If he ain't the best pitcher in baseball, he's among the top 3 easily. Well, this guy Tanaka with the Yankees has just been lights out, who they signed out of Japan. A lot of people were saying, well, he may have pitched himself out or something like that because he had thrown so many innings. Whoa. He's just been tremendous. I think he's like 10 or 11-1 or something like that right now.
He has an outstanding record. There's no doubt about it.
And the Yankees really aren't that good a team, really. I mean, take him out of the equation, and the Yankees are, oh my goodness. Been a bad day for home plate umpire Jeremy Ericke, who just got hit again. And that's a thing, you never stand behind the catcher as an umpire. I learned that long ago. I remember getting whacked on the foot one time while I was behind home plate, just kind of not paying a real amount of attention, and all of a sudden, punk. Oh, that hurt. And you never stand behind, especially at this age. These kids warming up.
Talking about Tanaka, life has changed. The only reason the Yankees were able to sign him, they didn't have to pay Alex Rodriguez his money this year. So that gave him a bunch of money to play with.
This is Ennis.
Terrell Ennis, the batter, left-handed batter, wears number 88.
Well, I know that can't be the year he was born, so. Wonder what the backstory is to that one.
2-0 the count.
They have listed that Terrell is hitting .310 this year.
Now make it 3-0. Time is called as the manager for the Cowboys is going to come out and talk to his pitcher. The last thing Morales wants to do, and the last thing his coach wants him to do, is to walk this batter. You're down by 2 runs. You don't want your opponents to have an opportunity to add to that lead.
That is very true. So a heart-to-heart given there by Fred Rodriguez. He's got and we're told that this young man has a pitch limit coming up, so he's not going to be able to go very long, Anthony Morales, before they have to go with somebody else.
The 3-0 pitch found the strike zone, 3-1. Ball 4. So Ennis draws the walk. Jose Escobedo is the batter. He is the left fielder, making his first appearance at the plate. That pitch bounces up to the catcher, makes a nice stop.
Ennis was not going, though.
No, 1-0 the count.
Evidently, Ennis not very fleet of foot.
Pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Pitcher's inside, 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike. Morales looked quick at first base and thought maybe I'll throw over there, but he was standing on the bag. Was Ennis.
There goes the runner. And he slides in with the stolen base.
Well, as I thought. Ennis not particularly fleet of foot.
3-1 the count now to Escobedo. Make that strike 2, so we have a full count. That's ball 4. So back-to-back walks. We have runners at first and second.
There we're going to have a pitching change.
So we'll have a new pitcher. Morales gave it his best. As is so often the case, just was not his night. And that's a nice thing that the coach is doing, talking to him, don't be discouraged.
Yep.
Oliver from third base will be the new pitcher. Morales will go over to third, so they're swapping defensive positions. If this game of baseball teaches you one thing, it's get ready for failure.
Yeah, because even perhaps the greatest hitter of all time, Ted Williams, in his greatest season, who had an on-base percentage of, 505, that still means that half the time he made outs. A good hitter fails 7 out of 10 times. So we'll see what Mr. Oliver has to throw up here. Kind of a sidearm delivery. Little break to it. Maybe while I've got a moment, let's throw another fan fact your way, okay? Just to kind of pass the time. And a la-di-da type of attitude we have towards all of this. Since the beginning of Major League Baseball in 1876, and this was as of Monday night, there were 276,239 home runs hit.
Heck yes.
And maybe 10 of those by Maury Wills.
I think Oliver has 2 more warm-ups. Usually they give you 8. 1 more. One of the things that makes pitching difficult is you're not throwing on a flat surface.
Right.
You're up on a mound. I guess it'd be a good time to tell you right now that they do have a run rule. No team can score more than 6 runs in an inning. And that, of course, is to speed the game along. No pitch there.
And I think Oliver is being told that you
He's
must
gotta
come to a stop.
set, yeah. Shouldn't be too difficult. He's pitching out of the stretch, but still every now and then pitchers kind of walk the line. Quick throw to second base. Nothing done there.
And it's not really a stolen base threat anyway.
No, I wouldn't think so. First pitch, swung and a miss, strike one.
Jason Aguirre, the hitter. I think Terrell may have hurt himself or something when he went back into second base.
He must think he's playing for the Texas Rangers.
If he were playing for the Texas Rangers, he'd be on the disabled list by now.
Pitch swung and a miss, strike two.
And you get this bad luck with it, and there's no other way to say it. People say there's no such thing as bad luck, and I say BS to that.
Here's a ground ball wide to first. The race to the bag won by the first baseman. The runners advance. So the ground ball does the job of putting 2 runners in scoring position.
Good hustle by Campos down at first base. As Ennis and Escobedo move up to second and third.
Pitch way off the mark. Arturo Martinez, the second baseman's up here. Hit by the pitch. Got the bases loaded. So with 1 out, the bases loaded, Eric Dignide will come up. He's the team's right fielder.
Darien, they say, is hitting .250 this year.
Way off the mark, ball 1.
Shortstop, second baseman playing in. They have the force at any base right now, so if the ball is hit to them on the ground, they'll want to come to home plate to get the force play.
Dick Knight called timeout to tie his shoelace. Now he's back in there. He's up on the count, 1-0. Make it 2-0.
Nice stop by Seth Martinez behind the plate there.
The 2-0 pitch on the way outside, ball 3. Everyone going to hold up again. We'll remind you that the backstop is not that far away from home plate.
Yeah, it's maybe 12 feet, you think? Something like that. 12, 15 feet.
15, I'd say. Yeah. 3-0 the count. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. So Dignide gets credit for an RBI Everyone advances one base, and the Aggies now lead it 3-0. Abraham Arista is our batter. Pitch in for a strike. Arista backed away, thinking the pitch was a little bit closer to him than apparently it was.
Yeah. Very open stance.
Pitch swung and a miss, strike 2.
Look at that smile on his face. Now he backs away from the plate just a little bit.
Way outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. Oliver delivers. 2-2. The overhead lights are on. They as yet have to take an effect. Sun's still up. Make it 3-2.
So Arista, who is down on the count. Now it's even between the two. Pitcher has to throw a strike, and the hitter has to cover the home plate.
That one is punched. Foul ball.
He just missed that. And that, oh, shucks, doggone it.
Yeah.
Look on his face.
Well, if that one had fallen in, it would have driven in at least 2 runs, that's for sure.
Right. Not far away.
Way inside. Ball 4. Another run forced in because of a walk. And it's a 4-0 ball game. So here's what Oliver has done. He has faced, let's just see now, 6 batters. He's walked 4 of them. He's hit 1 of them. And he got a ground out. And the coach coming out to talk to him.
Said, son, we need you to throw the ball over the plate. Don't care what else you do, throw the ball over the plate.
Well,
you're not going to do it,
yeah,
though.
They're going to change another pitcher, bring another youngster in. While they do that, I came across something the other day I thought was kind of interesting.
All right.
Globe Life Stadium, very nice ballpark. Globe Life Stadium has only 2 things in it that were brought over from the old ballpark.
I'm going to guess home plate being one of them.
Good guess, but not correct.
Oh, okay. The soda machine in the media room?
No.
Oh, okay.
This is on the playing field.
Oh, okay.
On the playing field.
The on deck bases. The on deck. No.
Nope.
The bases.
Nope. 2 things. More than 2 bases.
Okay. Our producer director Scott Snyder whispering in my ear the foul poles.
Correct.
Ah.
It's the only thing that came from the old ballpark.
Okay. I remember when Busch Stadium 2 opened, and there was a big ceremony because it was in the middle of the season, actually. They opened it. It wasn't at the start of the season. And they had a helicopter fly into Old Busch Stadium, which was also Sportsman's Park. They picked up home plate and took home plate from the old park to the new one.
The new one.
The Busch Stadium 2. And, of course, now they're playing in Busch Stadium 3.
Time passes on.
It does.
The batter is Michael Gutierrez. First pitch up high for a ball. I don't think we've identified the new pitcher, have we?
No, this is number 1, Christian Rodriguez.
Christian had been the shortstop. Pitch swung and a miss, 1-1. Now Christian moves from short to the mound.
Oliver moves back to third base.
And Morales goes over to short. Just off the corner. This kid has a nice little arm.
Yeah, he does.
2-1 the count.
See if Gutierrez swings at the pitch here.
Held up. Oh,
Nope, he didn't. I didn't think he went around either.
no, he didn't.
I thought Michael kept the bat from going over home plate. Let's watch it again. Yep, good call.
Ball four. So another walk with the bases loaded.
And that's the first run that will be charged to Oliver.
And it's a 5-0 ball game. And Skylar Jackson is the batter. Watches that first pitch outside, ball one. A little bit low and inside, 2-0 the count. That's in for a strike, 2-1. Skyler, the last man in the batting order. Throw to third base, and the runner is back.
The Aggies send 13 kids to the plate, which is a break for Irving because you don't have to face Escobedo, Flores, and Howell as much.
Pitch right down the pipe, strike two. 2-2.
Only one out here.
Strike three.
2 outs.
Jackson never took the bat off his shoulder. So we go to the top of the order with Oscar Escobedo, the batter. Oscar drew a walk in the first inning, eventually came around to score.
.350 hitter during the season.
Takes that pitch in for a strike, and he knew it.
Yeah, he shook his head. Yep, it was. He was taken all the way, wanted to see what this young man had to throw at him.
Throw to first base, and the runner back. There's a ground ball off the pitcher's glove. The shortstop up with the throws, not in time. Base hit, and it's a 6-0 ball game.
RBI for Escobedo. Watch it one more time. Is just off the edge of the glove that time, and nice try that time by the shortstop, but Morales just not able to get it there in time. Too much speed for Escobedo.
Oscar Flores watches that first pitch, sail outside for a ball. So one of the adages in baseball is walks will kill you, and we're seeing that right now. Two and 0 the count.
4 runs home here. Remember, they can only get six
right.
per inning. Oscar would like to end it right here, wouldn't he?
They've scored 4 times. They've got the bases loaded. They only have 1 base hit. Make it 3-0. And that's ball 4. So still another walk forced in.
So this will be the last hitter of the inning.
No doubt about it. Ricky Flores, the batter, coming up.
Whether he gets a hit, walk, or an out, he is the final man who will come to the plate.
5 runs scored by the Aggies. They lead it 7-0. That first pitch in for a strike. Up high for a ball, 1-1. Strike 2, no doubt about that. 1-2 the count. Long foul ball down the left field line.
Moya kind of went hard into that left field fence there, trying to chase that one down. Down the foul line there.
Ball to the backstop. No advancement by anyone. And we have a 2-2 count. Make it 3-2. Boy, we've had a couple of these, haven't we? 3-ball situation on the batter.
Under normal circumstances, the runners would be going with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
And the pitch. Fouled off.
But since you can only score 1 run anyway, it's, well, I guess you keep them out of a force play. That would be a reason to have them going.
Popped it up. Throw not in time. Catcher can't hold it. And that's the 6th run of the inning.
They're going to go through the motions of it, but the run doesn't count.
Home plate umpire did not realize that the 6th run of the inning had already scored. The players didn't either.
No, you got to play it through. I mean, so that 2nd run did not count.
Yeah. So again, a little tap that the pitcher fielded, and by the time he was able to make the play to the catcher, the run had already scored. 2 infield base hits for the Aggies produced 6 runs. Of course, a bunch of walks had something to do with it, too. At the end of 2 innings, the Aggies out in front by a count of 8-0. We'll be back in a moment.
We are headed to the third inning of action here. as the Aggies leading 8-0. Here once again, Bob Berry.
Eli Vasquez is the batter. He takes that first pitch in for a strike.
And Escobedo has been on a roll.
Time being called.
He's retired 6 in a row, and he's struck out the last 3 and 4 out of the last 5 hitters.
While we wait for the batter to get back in the box, we'll tell you they do have a run rule here. You can't score more than 6 runs in an inning. And if a team has a lead of 10 or more runs after 4 innings, that's it. The 10-run rule. After 4. Escobedo's pitch up high for ball, 1-1.
We're told you can score 9 runs in the 7th inning.
1-2 the count.
I don't like that rule at all, though, because it penalizes a team that has done well. That an inning when they had things going that they could have scored more, they had to shut it down. Yeah, well, nothing's perfect, is it?
Nope. Breaking pitch in for a strike, and Vasquez caught looking. That is the 4th consecutive batter to be called out on strikes.
Eli had a look of wonderment on his face. It was priceless. Christian led off the game with a walk. But Oscar has settled down and is really throwing quite well.
So saying he bounces one up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Eric Noahubi is the batter.
no, this is Christian Rodriguez. They aren't hitting those other guys.
They're not hitting?
No. It's numero uno,
Okay.
Christian Rodriguez.
Standard. Okay. So the Aggies hit everybody, but the Cowboys don't.
Right. Well, they're not here. They're gone.
Oh, okay. We have 3 youngsters here in the lineup who have not.
No, they're
made
not
their
in the
appearance.
lineup. They're the reserves. And,
Okay.
And
Or on the roster.
they're on a roster, but they're not here. So
Okay. So here's Christian Rodriguez. Good pitch, strike.
some families leave early on vacation, and I know my kids, when they played down in Duncanville, their league was over basically by the end of May. Precisely for that reason.
That's ball 4. So Rodriguez draws a walk for the second time in this game, and he breaks the strikeout string that Escobedo had. He had struck out 4 in a row.
This game was supposed to have been played, by the way, on Monday. This is being taped on Thursday. But they had rains, and it rained it out, so they kicked it back to tonight.
Jaden Flores, the batter. Pitch taken for a strike, and down to second base goes Rodriguez without drawing a throw.
Well, he had such an enormous jump. There was no way in the world
Yeah.
that Pudge Rodriguez could throw him out, let alone Josh Howell.
Shortened up the bunt. Strike 2.
Ooh.
Hit the batter.
Escobedo way ahead in the count and
Yeah.
let him get away. Watch it one more time here.
Took something off the pitch and hit the batter with it. He was throwing fastballs in for strikes. Oliver is the batter. That one gets away from the catcher. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch.
Cowboys trying to get back into this ball game. 1 out.
2-0 the count to Oliver.
And all of a sudden, Escobedo's hit a wild streak.
3-0. The 3-0 pitch. Here it comes. Ball 4. So they're loaded. And Seth Martinez, the catcher,
Yeah, we're going to have a little
comes up with the bases loaded.
conversation between manager and pitcher. Is he going to make a change or not? Telling Oscar. Throw strikes, son. Settle down. Well, he did it the last time, Bob, and he did settle down.
Yes, he did.
Bases loaded, 1 out.
A throw to third base. Personal observation, bad play. You
Really
got
bad.
you
Flores
got it.
wasn't ready for it. He wasn't even standing there.
You got an 8-run lead. Concentrate on the hitter.
Right.
You know. That fastball just a little bit high. Ball 1.
Foul ball.
Hit the bat.
Oh, what a bad break
Yeah.
that time.
The batter that time ducking out of the way, and the ball inadvertently struck the bat. So it's a 1-1 count.
Watch it one more time here. It's obviously hit the bat, and just a bad break that time for Martinez.
Two and 1 the count. That time Escobedo had the ball stick in his hand.
But all of a
not
sudden,
release it.
he's just hit a wild streak, Bob. He isn't. He's not even being close.
Pitch swung and a miss. 2-2.
Martinez trying to get 4 of those back right there.
Two, the count on the batter. Bounces it up, 3-2. So a full count on the batter with the bases loaded, 1 out. Struck him out. For the second time, Seth Martinez goes down swinging, and this will bring up Hugo Campos.
I think he's checking on the pitch count right now. Coach Larry Brewer.
Talking to the official score. He's thrown 68 pitches thus far.
Well, he's thrown a bunch of them through the first 3 innings, that's for sure. So evidently he's got a few more pitches to go. Probably let him try to finish this inning. And
So here is Campos up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. A shot to right center field. That'll drive in 2 runs, if not more. Oliver stopped at second base. There's the throw coming in a second, but no one's covering it. And it is a double for Campos. 2 runs in. It's an 8-2 game.
good job hitting that time by Hugo Campos. best hit of the night we've had is both Rodriguez and Jaden Flores come in, and that's going to be it for some reason. Oliver stopped at second base, though.
Yep.
I have no idea why he did that. I don't know whether he would have scored or not, but he probably should have scored. But that is going to be it for Oscar Escobedo. As we see Ricky Flores coming into pitch. Cowboy fans having some fun. We're rooting them on right now.
So Flores, having completed his warm-ups, got a pretty good-looking arm.
Yes, he does. But that's the important thing about baseball over softball, where you can have in softball, you have a pitcher can go every day, every game. Where in baseball, you don't have that. And so you got to develop other pitchers through the season, and especially at tournament time is when it really shows. That's no pitch.
No pitch. Moya, the batter. Home plate umpire had signaled no pitch. Let's see what's going on here. The base coach, the base umpire, talking to the home plate umpire. A balk. So a run comes in. Oliver will score, and it's an 8-3 ball game.
I didn't see the balk. Did he go into?
Have no idea.
Oh, he didn't have his foot on the rubber at all. Okay. Well, that'll do it.
Now the base umpire is coming over to talk to Flores, probably telling him, young man, you want to pitch here? You got to put your foot on the rubber. It's rather imposing out there.
Kind of surprising at this part of the season. You'd be bringing a guy in a championship team wouldn't know that. He's standing on the very corner there.
Flores his pitch right down the pipe for a strike. The Cowboys have scored 3 times here in the top of the 3rd inning. We have ourselves an 8-3 ball game. That's strike 2. Let it up. Pitch inside for a ball.
Didn't miss by much.
Now the third base coach want to talk to his hitter.
Watch his motion here on the mound. He's not on the rubber.
Full count on Moya. Got him looking. So Flores comes in and gets the job done. But the Cowboys score 3 times. And at the end of 2.5 innings of play, the Aggies lead it by a count of 8-3.
And let's throw another trivia question out your way here to shock and amaze you, or at least to kill some time. One of the who has the most stolen bases in this decade, starting in 2010? Think about that, why don't you? And we'll give you the answer of the next half inning. Who has the most swipes of this decade? And we'll have the answer for you the next half inning. 8-3 is your score. Aggies. Here's what's happened in the matchups between these games so far. The Aggies winning all three, 17-2, 8-4, and 5-3. So the Aggies have been winning, but the Cowboys have kind of closed it the last two games a little bit after getting whooped in the first time. So, you get the training, you get the little more at-bats, repetitions, and you get better. And that is what's happened for the Cowboys.
Two more, kids, two more. Let's go, Cowboys.
So they're telling young Mr. Rodriguez that he has two more, and we'll get one more warm-up here. And we're ready to go. It'll be Howell, Salinas, and Ennis, the first three hitters of this inning.
As Howell steps up, he's 0 for 1. He bounced back to the pitcher in the first inning.
He's hitting .500 this season.
That's ball one.
Oh, yeah.
Seen a lot of those tonight.
Yeah.
That's a line shot up the middle for a base hit. Solid hit by Mr. Howe. Well, he's 1 for 2 tonight, so he keeps up that .500 batting average. This ball going to come right back at you.
Pitch right down the middle, and
that's where he hit it.
Yeah.
Now here's Chris Salinas. Throw to first base, and Howe wasn't going anywhere, so he's back. There goes Howe, and the pitch foul back.
Salinas had a good rip at that one. Chris hitting .300 so far for the season.
Howell inching away from first. Again he goes. Pitch way outside. Howell just trots down to second. On both occasions here, he's gotten a very nice jump on the pitcher. That's a ball. Two and one the count. We're in the bottom of the third inning. The Aggies up by 5. There goes Howell to third base, and will make it easily. So Howell steals second and replicates it by stealing third. Down at third base with nobody else.
Yeah, as Bob mentioned earlier, even though there was a wild pitch, since he was going with the pitch, it is assumed he gets a stolen base anyway, so that's why it's given to him. Rodriguez trying to keep the man close there.
High pop fly. The second baseman going back makes the grab. Nice play. So Salinas pops out to the second baseman.
Watch it one more time here. Is just uppercutted too much that time and one away. And here's Ennis.
Ennis drew a walk his first time up. This time he's hit by a pitch.
bring up Jose Escobedo.
Jose is the left fielder. He, like Ennis, was walked in his first appearance at the plate.
That bat wrapped around his head.
Pitch down low for the ball. Ennis down at first base the first time he was on showed something of a reluctance to try and steal a base, although he did. And there he goes to second base. The pitcher never even saw him. Talk about picking somebody's pocket. Rodriguez never even realized that Ennis was on his way to second base. He could have just stopped off the rubber and made a play at second. Pitch up high for a ball. But remember, these are young players. A lot that they have to learn about this game. 3-0 the count to the batter. The throw over to third base. To no avail. Runner is back easily. Ball four. They're loaded.
Ooh, strike.
Oh, called a strike. I beg your pardon. 3-1. Pitch foul back, strike two. So a full count coming up here. It's popped out of play.
Had a cool, pleasant night here. Not as humid as it has been. We've been in the past here.
Escobedo trying to get on base. Has got the full count. Swings at a pitch that would have been ball four. He's thrown out at first base. And Oscar Escobedo comes in to score.
Good job by Rodriguez. He looked to home, saw there was no play there, and quickly turned to first base. Watch him pounce on this ball. Look at home, nothing there. Good throw over to first base, and bang, bang at first base. And there's Ennis down at third base right now.
Jason Akuyo, the batter.
Goes into the dugout, so the runner will come home on the wild pitch or in the air.
The errant throw, yep.
Right.
Yep.
So it'll be an E1. Tried to pick him off. It went into the dugout, and according to the ground rules,
game. Yep. One advance.
So they get two of the three runs back that the Cowboys had scored in the top half of that frame.
Pitch foul back to the screen. That off the
Boy, what a
yeah.
bad day this has been for Jeremy Aggies. He is definitely earning his money tonight. Watch him take this one off the shoulder here with a foul tip. Yow. Kind of reminds me of that Southwest commercial. Want to get away? This is a night. This has not been a good one for Jeremy.
That pitch taken for a ball.
Right now he's kind of working his left arm a little bit there. The umpire is. It ain't easy being back there always. Rarely is, in fact. But
nice backhanded stop by the catcher.
Aguia with a 2-2 count.
2-2 the count with 2 outs. So the deuces are up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runs have scored. That's ball 3. Rodriguez on the mound, the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Acuña down at first base. And here's Arturo Martinez.
He'll work from the windup.
Ball down low.
Aguia could start taking off immediately once he starts the windup, because if he stops the windup, it's a balk.
It's a balk, yeah.
He should be running right now.
Pitch swung on a foul tip. Well, again, these players are very young.
Right.
But this is something the coaches should be telling them.
Absolutely.
Certainly the coaches should be telling them, hey, he goes in the windup, you run.
Now.
Giddy up. And
there he goes.
Pitch up high for a ball.
Not a chance in the world they're going to get him.
No. So Aguia with the stolen base. They're going to give you something like that.
Time is called right now. Now, is he going to work from the stretch or the windup? He's going to work from the windup. Says, take off again, son. Go.
Now he goes a late break. The throw down at third base. He's safe.
But he should have left 3 seconds earlier.
Yeah.
Tending after his leg. Got himself a little raspberry down there.
Did you ever get that when you played this game?
Oh, yeah.
Man, they look nasty.
Ooh, yeah.
Sting, too.
Watch the way he slides in here. He goes in there kind of hard. He went into that base hard, too.
Now the pitcher from the stretch delivers in for strike.
And a count full, 3-2. I don't know how much the coaches work with the kids on the sliding. But that should be as much a part of the game as anything.
There's a tap off the mound. The pitcher with it. Throws to first. The batter is retired. So the inning ends. But a productive inning for the Aggies as they scored twice. And now at the end of 3 innings of play, the Aggies lead it by a count of 10-3.
Well, we ask you the question, and we'll show it one more time. From the last half inning, who has the most stolen bases in this decade starting in 2010? Care to guess? Nope, no guess.
I know who it isn't, but I don't know who it is.
Rajai Davis, 194. Michael Bourne, right now with 184. This was as of a couple of days ago when I made all this stuff up.
This is all made up? It's not real?
I make up everything. I make up the answers, too. Unfortunately, they don't take that when you go to Vegas.
Have you ever considered working for the administration? Or for the IRS, for that matter?
Yeah.
Lost all those emails. Son of a gun. How'd that happen?
Gee, golly darn.
So much for technology.
Well, I think if Watergate taught us one thing, it's don't be arrogant about it. Just say, whoops. What tapes are you talking about? White House tapes? Oh, we lost him. Yeah, sorry.
Remember that 18-and-a-half-minute lapse with Rosemary Wood?
Yes, who was Richard
Yeah.
Nixon's secretary,
Yeah.
and supposedly she put the recording button down and recorded over 18 minutes of conversation. But that's a long story, and
Yeah.
40 years ago, and no one gives a darn anymore.
Morales, the batter. First pitch up high for a ball.
It is Morales, Makuzek, and Vasquez. 7, 8, and 9 hitters of the order.
Pops one to the third baseman, makes the grab, one away. Jeffrey Makusik, the batter.
It's the easy play made by Oscar down there. Oscar Flores.
Goes after that first one, strike one. The Irving Nimitz baseball team this year had a player by the name of Makusik, maybe a family member here. He's won himself a scholarship to Paris Junior College. A pitch outside for a ball.
Also an all-district player this year. Heck of a ball player
Yeah.
was Matt Makusik.
He was on the games we did, that's for sure.
Well, he's enough, evidently enough other games, too, to get us a scholarship.
Yeah.
And that came off of the leg of the catcher that time, Howell. Been a rough game for the people behind home plate
Boy,
today.
it sure is, yeah.
What's
Toink.
looks like it caught him on the thigh.
That was the pinata swing.
Yeah, might have gotten some candy out of that, but it sure wasn't going to get a hit. And there's two out. There's Eli Vasquez.
Takes a good pitch for a strike. Vasquez, the last time up, was called out on strikes, and he just couldn't believe it.
Oh, well, you believe that call. That was a good strike there.
1-0 the count.
Flores off the plate on that one.
Two and one the count. One thing about Vasquez here, after every pitch, unless he swings, he looks back at the home plate umpire to see what the call is. 3-1 the count. That bent him back.
Well, he didn't have to look at that one.
And that's ball four. So Vasquez draws the walk with two outs. I will go to the top of the order and Christian Rodriguez.
Who's walked twice himself. Now is he on the pitcher's mound? I think they're going to say he wasn't on the pitcher's mound, so it's not ball four. You got to be on the rubber.
Yeah, well, he was on the mound, but not on the rubber.
Correct, that's what Meyer.
Still 3-1.
Okay, time had been called.
What?
Now again, the full count pitch. Strike two.
And Eli's going, darn my luck.
Strike three. Well,
Hasn't been Eli's night, has it?
no, it hasn't. Down go the Cowboys. 3 up, 3 down. After 3.5 innings of play, the Aggies lead it by a count of 10-3.
If the Aggies score 3 runs this inning, the game will be over. And let's throw up a fan fax for you to think about here as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning of action. Since the beginning of baseball, we've shown that already. Let's show another one, because we went through that. Then Miguel Cabrera, boy, what a hitter he's been, huh? Well, in this decade, he has the most home runs, as we've shown you already, the most RBIs, and the highest batting average of any player who's batted significant amount of times. Just to reinforce what you already knew anyway, that He is a great, great hitter.
Yes, he is.
On his way to the Hall of Fame without question.
And a good time to make much of that organization that brings these games to you, and that would be Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
And what about those people, Bob?
Well, those people are designated the charter sponsor for the Irving Game of the Week, simply because they've been with us since the inception of these broadcasts. That goes back to September of 1983.
Well, that's a long time.
Yes, it is. Every game we've done has been sponsored by Gerald Stavely. We thank them for their participation, and it goes without saying, but we'll say it, and their loyalty.
Absolutely. Our thanks to the Stavely folks. And Christian Rodriguez needs to
Two more.
keep the hammer shut down on the Aggies this inning as they will send to the plate.
The bottom of their order,
Yep.
which works in his favor.
Degnaid, Arista, and Gutierrez.
So here's Mr. Degnaid leading things off. Darian Degnaid. Swings over that first pitch, strike one. There's a ground ball by the shortstop for a base hit.
All right, so Darian leads things off with a base knock. And watch him get this one here, a little floater, and gets one just past the shortstop as Anthony Morales not able to come up with it.
Degnaid on his way to second base will make it easily. Abraham Arista, the batter, with a 1-0 count. Degnaid on his way to third base. Will have to come back as that pitch is fouled back. There goes Degnaid again. And the pitch is fouled back again.
Catcher took it off the top of the helmet.
Clunk.
Right off the crown there.
1-2, the batter. Degnaid off with the pitch, steals third base.
And so it is a 2-2 count.
Rodriguez pitching from the stretch. Delivers to the plate, way outside. Degnaid holds up.
No reason for Degnaid to be a hero. I mean, nobody out.
Exactly. Now the catcher wants to go out to talk to Mr. Rodriguez. So we've got the battery mates talking to one another. Seth Martinez out there with Rodriguez.
Well, we're getting a little bit tired of getting whacked with the ball and having to chase down wild pitches.
Yeah.
Christian could be a little bit tired, too, right now.
Arista's got a full count. The pitch, ball 4. Runners at first and third. Nobody out.
Nope, second and third. Arista just
Whoops,
never stopped
okay,
and went to second base on
Okay,
while
wow.
the Cowboys were kind of messing around, so give him a stolen base.
Definitely, second and third. And here is Michael Gutierrez. Takes that first pitch in for a strike. Michael was one of many players who walked in the second inning.
Yep.
Ground ball to the first baseman and off his leg. And the score is 1 run. Here is the second run scoring. And cut down at second base is the batter. But he drives in a pair. Gutierrez cut down. But both Degnide and Arista score.
Watch it again as this off the glove. But he makes a nice throw here. Looked like he might have had the foot in there first. Let's call to New York, Bob.
Skylar Jackson takes the pitch, strike one. Skylar has yet to take his bat off his shoulder. He bats last in this lineup, and I think we know why. There's another strike. That ball bounces down, ball one. Rodriguez looking for the strikeout. Won't find it with that pitch. 2-2 the count.
He's trying to be too fine with that.
Jackson, by the way, represents the game-ending runner right here. He scores, the game's over because of the 10-run rule. That's ball 3.
Rodriguez is kind of frustrated with himself right now.
Yeah.
I think he knows this should be an easy out for him, but
Ball 4. So Jackson down at first base. And we go to the top of the order, and Escobedo, but before that, the coach coming out to talk to Rodriguez.
probably to remind him that that's the game winner down at first base. Is he taking the ball away from him, or? Yep, that's it. So we're going to have the
First baseman will come in.
first baseman's going to come in to pitch, Hugo Campos. And Morales will make another move to third base again. And Rodriguez will go back to shortstop. And moving from third to first will be Zach Oliver. These guys can mess up a scorecard, can't they?
Yes. Yes, they can.
And that is why you don't get behind home plate during warm-ups. That was his manager he hit, too, by the way. So a wise move would not be to put your phone back there either. Now the umpire gives it to somebody else. This is a interesting picture here. Yeah, a little bit closer.
Well, a recap of the situation. The Aggies have scored first. They've scored often, and they lead it by a count of 12-3 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Should they score one more run, the ball game is over. In other words, if they score a run this inning, that's it, because of the 10-run rule. Team that has a lead of 10 or more runs after 4, that stops it. So we'll see. One thing in the favor of the Cowboys is that Jackson, I'm just personal observation, I've never seen this young man run. I don't think he looks like a kid who's a pretty fast runner. So we'll see. You never know. But here's a man at bat who is a good hitter.
Escobedo looks
Oscar Escobedo.
Yeah, Oscar looks like the type of kid who hit it far enough where Jackson won't have to run.
Goes after that first pitch, strike one.
He's trying to also. Yeah. Strong wind again is picked up as blowing towards left field, the left field foul pole. So gets one up in the air and kiss it goodbye.
Ground ball into center field for a base hit. Jackson down to second, so we have runners at first and second with one out. For Escobedo, his second base hit of the game.
And if they hadn't gotten Gutierrez going to second, that would have been ball game.
Exactly. So here's Oscar Flores. Takes that pitch outside for a ball. Jackson, the potential winning run down at second base, takes about a 3-step lead off the bag. This young man is very tentative offensively.
Well, I mean, he hasn't played the game much, and it's pretty obvious here.
That's 2-0. One more bad pitch and we'll have the bases loaded. Obviously something Campos does not want to do. Pitching from the stretch with the 3-0 count. Here he comes. A ground ball to the shortstop. They get Jackson out at third base. Escobedo back to first. The ball thrown away. Escobedo's down at third. And then at second is Flores. Boy, you talk about some tentative people here. Again, the slow foot of Jackson enabled the shortstop to tag him out.
No, he didn't tag him. He was out for going out of the base pass. Umpire already called him out long before he got there. No pitch coming up here. Timeout is called.
So Flores is the batter. I beg your pardon. Yeah, Ricky Flores, the batter. It's ball one. Here comes the runner to the plate. Scores. That's the ball game. So it ends on a wild pitch. And the Cowboys win it by a count of 13-3.
Just a good performance by the Aggies here, as as they've shown all year long. They are the best team in the league, and they
no doubt about it. Yeah, definitely. So the Aggies win it 13-3. They are the champs. For Lance Brown, all the members of our technical crew, this is Bob Barry. Thank you so much for joining us. We wish you a most pleasant good night.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,